Well, if I am not speaking, if I am not what I thought I am, how did I get into this predicament, and who am I? For only when I know who I am will I know what is possible. And furthermore, I can ask the question, how will I know who I am? There are three ways in which one knows about what we are talking about this evening. One way you know about it is by direct experience. Through some way or other, through being alone in the desert, through falling in love, through bearing a child, through nearly dying or some other trauma, through turning on, through yoga, through taking any one of your senses and pushing it to beyond itself, going through it, you have touched a place inside yourself that has an intuitive validity. An intuitive validity. It's intuitively valid. Inside you know it's right. Many of you had an experience. I've been with literally now, perhaps over 100 people who have had an experience which was powerful and valid. It was so discontinuous with their normal consciousness that it scared them so badly that they screamed for help, and the help that was available to them were a group of minds which said, "That's all right, you have just gone crazy." That is, the experience you've just had is the experience of psychosis. William James said, "Our normal waking consciousness is but one form of consciousness, whilst all about it, parted from it by the filmiest of veils, screens, there lie other types of consciousness entirely different. We may pass through our entire lives without suspecting their existence, but apply the requisite stimulus, and at a touch, they are there in all their completeness. Special types of mentality, each probably somewhere having its field of application and adaptation. No view of the universe in its totality can be complete which leaves these other forms of consciousness quite disregarded. But how to regard them is the question. They determine attitudes, though they fail to furnish a formula. They open regions, though they do not give a map. At any rate, concludes James, they forbid our premature closing of our accounts with reality. Said that somewhere around probably 1906, something like that. In spite of what he said, we've closed our accounts with reality, most of us. That experience you had is psychotic. I will give you Thorazine. It is not valid. You are hallucinating. What do you mean you're God? What do you mean you're God? The experience may have come to you directly that way, or it may have come to you through inference. Through your intellect, you may have reasoned and reasoned and reasoned until you saw the peculiar position that rational man is in, and you realize there must be something else. Although you've not experienced it, you just infer the presence of something else. It doesn't quite make sense. Nothing turns you on. You haven't experienced it directly, but you figure there must be something there. I mean, you read all of the writings of St. John of the Cross and Teresa and on, all of the mystics and visionaries through recorded history, and you say, well, they can't all be nuts. They must be talking about something. So you sort of infer the presence of this other thing, but you don't know about it. Now that's a tougher one to be in that position. Then the third way is that you trust the fact that there are realized beings and they've said it and therefore you know it to be true. It's not inference anymore. It's not an intellectual process. You just accept what they have said. That's faith. See, we have gotten so super sophisticated in our evaluative mechanisms that you question everything you hear. How do you know you're not being hustled? I mean, you know, what was Jesus up to? What was the thing about? What do they want? What's the game? What's the game, man? You know, what's he into? What's he into? And that you especially feel if you are one of the keepers of the tables in the temple. If you are committed to an existing system with great attachment. With great attachment. Some way or other, though, most of you in this room, most of you, not all of you, but most of you have sensed the possibility. Sense the possibility. It happened to me the first time I took psilocybin, a synthetic chemical. It's a synthetic of the tiananoctyl, the Mexican mushroom which is commonly known in the mountains as the flesh of the gods, tiananoctyl. And you ingest 9 mushrooms, 5 male and 4 female mushrooms. And you transcend your ego. And you see how it all is. And you touch, you go through the door, you go through the doorway into the magic theater. You may even get beyond the magic theater. You might get to the clear white light. All the way to Nirvikalpa Samadhi. You go just as far as you can give up to go. Some people use this method and they say, wow, dig the colors and lights. Some say, boy, I feel so close to other people interpersonally. Some say, wow, you and I are one. Some say, why, there isn't even a you and I. It's just energy. Some say, it's all and everything and nothing. It's the void. And they're beyond words. You go just as far as you're ready to go. Those are all stages on the path. They are also known as the physical, astral, and causal planes. Same thing. Different words. How high did you get in the last trip? How high? Well, I went into Hiranya Loka, an upper level of the astral plane. Right? And you can get pretty good at chronicling the whole thing when you understand how the chronicle works, how the pattern is designed, how the system is designed. You went through the door, but you get thrown out. At least I got thrown out. Maybe you didn't get thrown out. If you didn't get thrown out, You are a realized being. And if you're a realized being, you're not here. So everybody here has at least been thrown out, or never got in. Right? Here we are, outcasts. We've all been rejected. We all came to the wedding feast, and we weren't wearing the wedding garment, and we got bound hand and foot and cast into outer darkness, and here we are. Right? This is a meeting of outer darkness. And there was much crying and gnashing of teeth. That's what he said. It's all on the level. It's all straight. I mean, he's telling you just how it is. That's what's so far out about it. Absolutely so far out.